Wow. Are you ready for this? Welcome back. This channel is Awaken with Debb. I'm Deborah Kaye, and this channel is about awakening. We're awakening to the awareness of our true selves. We're awakening to the reality of how things exist and operate on this planet. And speaking of planet, universe, solar system, our solar system has a visitor. Who has heard of the 3-eye atlas? I have very purposely tried to keep my nose out of articles and information on it. I know it's there, and I have my own intuitive readings and experiences with it. But this is huge for the collective of humanity. It has officially been announced that it's not a comet. They know it's something different. If you're watching this channel and you're of a spiritual persona, you already know it's something different. I don't have to tell you that. But the world is waking up. If you found this video in your algorithms, you're probably one of those people that has been involved in the awakening. You've seen the awakening coming. You can feel it coming. You have been feeling different and alienated probably your entire life. And now everything's coming full circle. Now everything's starting to make sense. Now the awakening is happening. There are souls that have been placed across the planet for this time frame, on this timeline. If you're on this timeline, if you're watching this video, you are one of those souls. There's a name that we've been calling ourselves, this group of souls, and that is the chosen ones. Why are we calling ourselves the chosen ones? We're using this term because we are choosing a higher way. We are choosing awareness. We are choosing a deeper understanding of who we are and our existence. We are choosing to look outside of the programming. We are choosing to look outside of the matrix. We are choosing to notice the injustice and poverty and the unfairness that has been allowed to develop. And we have seen enough. We are not alone in this existence. And 3-eye atlas is making that known. 3-eye atlas. Third eye map. Are you ready to see? Are you ready to be a part of the awakening? I believe 3-eye atlas just turned blue. I only see headlines. Again, I'm purposely trying to not cloud my intuitive channelings about 3-eye atlas with any type of outside influence. Things will come on, and when I do come across headlines or someone mentions it, obviously I know that information is meant to find me, but I am not. I'm fully relying on intuition from what, as much as I can, because that's how I live. I live off intuition. 333 for those who needed to hear it. Living off intuition can feel scary. It can feel wrong. It can feel like, I mean, everyone will tell you you're probably crazy and not doing things the way that you should be doing, or when things don't go to your plan, even when following your intuition, then you even start to question yourself and you start to doubt yourself. But just know that if you are tuned in, tapped in, and connected, your intuition will not lead you astray, even if you find yourself in the pit like Joseph in the Bible. What is the story of Joseph in the Bible? I'm going to try not to butcher this. I've never actually learned this. Again, this is one of those stories that has just kept coming up in my radar. And basically, a story in Egypt, there was this family and some brothers, and one brother was like, hey, life's going to be good. God's going to do this or that, or I'm going to provide for everyone. And the brothers mocked him and thought he was crazy. And somehow Joseph ended up in a pit with slaves. I'm pretty sure his brothers betrayed him, threw him there, something like that. And Joseph, he sat with the injustice. He kept his head down and did his work as a slave, knowing that God put him there for whatever reason he needed to be there. And in the end, he ended up as a counselor in a palace. He went from the pit to the palace in a day. And he fed the community, the civilization, I don't know. Probably not fully accurate on that story, but that's the gist of it, right? We're not here for Bible lessons. We're here for inspiration and knowing that these stories that happen in the Bible, it's not just religion, it's history. And history does repeat because everything's always happening all at once, and everything's cyclical, and everything's patterns. And we can take inspiration and lessons from history. And there is an awakening happening on this planet where all the Josephs that have been placed along the different points are beginning to rise. We are moving from pit to palace to provide for communities. There's something that I heard today that I haven't heard over the last year, and that is that God stores the wealth. Okay, maybe I don't know the quote. Basically, all the wealth that the wicked has is just being stored for the righteous. Right? It's kind of like say, this might seem kind of mean, but say you won something over there, and there's this little kid that's, well, okay, it's no different as like, say you're an old man in a wheelchair, and you want to have that bottle of water that's on a table over there, and this little 5-year-old comes running by who is capable and excited to help you. So you ask that 5-year-old to go and get that bottle of water and bring it to you. So right now, I feel like the wicked people are gathering the wealth. Those billions of dollars that they are gathering and hoarding and using for their own gain, they're just doing the hard work of gathering it into one spot, and then they're going to bring it to us. They're like that little 5-year-old bringing us a bottle of water, but then we're going to use that bottle of water to turn it into oceans of water to take care of the world. The wealth of the righteous is not for your own pleasure and doing. The wealth of the righteous is to feed millions. It's to feed the hungry. It's to build churches. It's to guide communities, to understand community, to build communities. The wealth of the righteous is going to be used to give to those and balance the scales of injustice. Injustice, justice. It's what we're here for. We're here for awakening. We're here for standing up for what's right. We're here for spreading resources righteously, not to hoard. We have to trust that as the money comes in, we are allowed to let it go out because God will give us a continuous flow, overflowing abundance, affluence, inspiration. I wanted to say influence. I wanted to say affluence and influence, but inspiration was what was on the tongue from God. You are an inspiration to others. And even though it seems only slightly or maybe behind the scenes, because a lot of those others aren't ready to also step into the belief of the newness of what the reality is. We're in the new earth. And a lot of people don't understand it. If you can remember the times that you felt lost and confused, well, that's the whole rest of the world now. And now it's our time to help lead them. It's our time to show them it's okay to feel uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. It's our time to connect to the energies that are coming in and changing. You think these northern lights and solar flares and all these signals from 3i Atlas, you think all this is just coincidence and not going to affect us? Things are happening. Energies are changing. Life is changing. If you're watching this video, you're being called to be a part of it. You're strong enough for it. You know it. You wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't one of us, if you weren't a chosen one called for this mission. 3i Atlas is growing blue. Blue stands for truth and calm, serenity. It's our voice. truth. And for some reason, I'm being called to mention envy right now, because envy is not something that I would associate with the throat chakra. I personally would maybe associate it with either a root chakra or maybe the solar plexus chakra. But there was one time that someone associated it with throat chakra. And the way they explained it made sense, because envy can be used as allowing, I don't know how they explained it. I just felt called to mention the envy in some way. Envy guides us to where we want to go. If you feel envious of someone, that is a signal that they have something that you desire to have, and that is that's your hint to say, okay, that's something I want. Let me put that on my list. How do I get that? And so envy is really inspiration, right? And so that's for someone out there. I don't know why, who, what, where I'm supposed, that's something about envy in your truth. If that's for you, you'll know it's for you. Yeah. Speaking our truth isn't easy. It's going to scare people. It's going to sound unfamiliar to people. It's going to sound woo-woo. However, it's also very trendy. It was woo-woo and it was scary 30 years ago, 300 years ago. Now it's trendy. Now it's a multi, if not billion-dollar industry. I wouldn't be surprised if the meditation industry is a billion-dollar industry at this point. And so if that doesn't clue you into a signal that people are waking up, people are feeling the pain in their soul and are wanting to scratch that itch, to know what that is. They're feeling the expansion of what they are, but no one's ever talked about expansion, so they have no idea what they're going through. And that's where people like you and I come into play. We're here to band together to help others awaken. So if any of this resonated with you, I mean, if you've watched it this far, it's definitely for you. Whether you know it or not, the seed has been planted. But make sure you like for the algorithms. Comment below how you feel when it comes to speaking your truth. Is it scary? Our words carry weight. Our sound carries energy and light. So anytime we speak, we should be mindful of what we're speaking. And as I say that, my mind is thinking of how when I do these videos, I'm not actually that mindful. I'm just open and allowing words to come through. It's not the same intention as with when I have someone in front of me at work or something. It's very different. Anyways, your homework for the day. Pay extra attention to your words. Pay extra attention to the truthfulness and the energy behind them. What spells are you creating out there? Be mindful of it today. And let me know. Let me know how you feel about your truth. Is it something you shy away from? Or are you one of those people that speak up and then others shy away from you because of it? Where are you at on the journey? I'd love to hear it. In the meantime, subscribe so that you don't miss a message subscribing helps me out, but you're always going to hear the messages when you're meant to, whether it's for me or someone else. So I don't need to threaten you with a good time. But if you'd like to subscribe, it does help me out. And it does help show the world that we are here in numbers. And we are not going to be the minority anymore. We are taking over this world. And we are standing for justice, balancing the scales, and taking back our wealth. Thanks for hoarding it for us, those other people Thanks for making it easy for us to snatch it back and do what's right with it. This is Awaken with Debb, and I'm Deborah Kaye. Have the most blessed